What's good, everybody? It's Marwin Reeves coming to you with another segment of Changing Your Perspective. This is something I had to do a number of years ago. As I said, 16 years old, loss of my mother. The photo that you showed with my mother and my father in the photo. My mom died over 32 years ago. It's hard to believe. And actually tomorrow will be the commemoration of her death. And so today is really pivotal in that it marks a very strategic point in my life. And over the course of time, what I've learned, and I want to share with you, I've learned the fact that God is the one who's given me logical sense, the ability to have reason, the ability to rationale. And he's given us moral sense. Moral sense is conscience. That word means with knowledge. It means that I'm aware of something that he's put on the inside of me. I didn't know that at 16. Man, I was unreasonable. I was illogical. I was operating, as you know, on hormonal challenges that we all have from time to time. And what I come to realize is there were some things that I needed to change, some things that I needed to alter. And so over the course of a number of years, there was a set of circumstances that allowed me to further understand what my responsibility is as a moral agent. And so I want to express to you the fact that there's some truth that you need in this season. There's some truth that you need as a young man. There's some truth that you need as an adult. There's some truth that you need that will actually help you to govern your life. And so what truth is that? And this is what I've come to realize. I've come to realize Romans chapter 3 states it this way in verse 4. It says, let God be true and every man a liar. I'm going to say that again. He says, let God be true and every man a liar. See, Paul was actually dealing with some unbelief or unfaithfulness in the Jewish tradition. Jewish individuals who were subscribing to Judaism at the time were seeing Christ and they were having all kinds of questions about the reality of the salvific nature of Jesus. And the amazing thing is, Paul retorts and he's answering a number of questions, but he says this, he says, let God be true and every man a liar. In other words, even when we are unfaithful, God will always be faithful. And so this is what he does. He not only sets that in order, but he also tells us, and Jesus makes this proclamation himself when he says that I am the truth, I am the life. He says that in John 14, telling us that no man would come to the Father except through him. As a young man, I really thought that I had some things together. I thought that I knew what I was up against. I thought that I had the right kind of thinking to help me navigate through storms in my life. But what I began to realize is I didn't have common sense. I didn't have the sense that I was needed because in my moment of disappointment, in my moment of desperation, I didn't make the right turn. I was turning in a different direction. And as a result, I recognized that I was failing at this thing that we call life. And so this is what I've come to tell you. In order for you to make a change in your perspective, you've got to get back to the truth. You know, psychologists say honesty is the foundation of change. Well, I come to believe that that is true. And the first place that we have to get honest is what we see in ourselves. How does God actually see me? God says this. He says this about you. Do you know that he's called you fearfully and wonderfully made? Do you know that he told the prophet Jeremiah that before I formed you in your mother's belly, I knew you? That's what God's truth relates to us. And that's what I'm coming to relay to you. That if you're going to win in the change of a perspective, you've got to align yourself with truth. And so be empowered today. Be empowered to know that God is for you. And if God is for you, his truth is going to continue to cause you to allow your perspective to be changed so that his glory can be seen in your life. God bless you. God be with you.